The emergency lights flickered again. Third time in 7 minutes. Captain Elara Myles adjusted the stabilizer on her forearm and cursed under her breath. The engine core had gone quiet, not shut down, not active. Just quiet. Like it was holding its breath. The hallway outside the engineering bay reeked of coolant and static discharge. Panels along the bulkhead were scorched, pried open. The ship wasn't just malfunctioning. It was resisting. "Elara to bridge," she said into her comms, keeping her voice even. "Something's wrong with the power nodes." Again. Static. No response. She tapped the mic. "I swear, if Quinn rerouted comm priority to his music stream again, I'll eject his synth drums into space." Her boots echoed through the corridor as she turned the corner, toward the sealed hatch of Cargo Bay 7. That was where it started. Not where it began. No, that part happened on planet JX-119 4 days ago. But this? This was where it changed. Flashback. 48 hours prior. Planet JX-119 was listed as uninhabitable Class E, surface storms. Cracked tectonics. Toxic air. Perfect conditions for biological anomalies. Elara's job wasn't rescue or warfare or diplomacy. She was a collector, contracted by fringe corporations and hungry empires to find strange things before someone else did. The crew was lean. Quinn ran ops and systems. Nova, her medic and biologist, rarely smiled but always got the job done. And Rook, her combat pilot, trusted Elara more than anyone ever should. They were there for a mineral deposit. That's what the contract said. What they found was something else. The crater had been sterile. Not a speck of living matter for miles, until Nova found the sphere. Smooth, obsidian, covered in microfilaments like spider silk. Cold. Too cold. It pulsed once when they moved it. Nova called it unclassified biotech. Elara just called it bad news. But the payday? Too big to ignore. So they brought it aboard. Now, Cargo Bay 7 was locked with triple redundancies. And still, the door hummed faintly with internal heat signatures. Elara pressed her hand to the access pad. Nothing. Manual override. She pulled the casing off the control panel, rerouted power to the lower deck, bypassed the faulty neural relay, and forced the door open. Inside, the room was dark. No overheads. Just the amber glow of containment field strips around the sphere. Except, it wasn't a sphere anymore. It had unfolded. Where there was once a black orb, there now sat something, breathing. No limbs. No eyes. Just a mass of fibers, pulsing, exhaling vapor into the cold bay air. And at the edge of the shadows, Nova. Standing motionless, eyes wide. "Elara," she said quietly. "It talked to me." Elara didn't blink. "Step away. Now." "I didn't move. I swear." "It reached." Elara's fingers hovered over her sidearm. "What did it say?" Nova turned, voice hollow. "It knows what we did to Earth." Bridge. 10 minutes later. Rook paced near the viewport, staring out at the void. "Did she touch it?" he asked. "No," Elara replied. "But it touched her. Somehow." Quinn, chewing on a stemgum cube, flicked through diagnostics. "There's no sign of neurocontamination," he said. "But the AI's refusing to run containment sweeps." Rook stiffened. "You mean our ship AI?" Quinn shrugged. "He says it's not his ship anymore." Elara's jaw tightened. "This thing isn't just alive," she said. "It's aware. It hijacked our power grid. It's bleeding heat from non-conductive panels. It's learning the layout of my damned ship." Nova entered, still pale. "It's not hostile. Not yet. But it knows us." "What the hell does that mean?" Rook barked. Nova looked down. "It said humanity wasn't the apex. Just the first infection." 3 hours later, Elara sat alone in her quarters, lights dimmed. She replayed the moment they pulled the artifact onto the shuttle. The way it pulsed in her hands. How, for a second, it felt like she wasn't holding it. It was holding her. She'd seen organisms evolve to mimic, to hunt, to defend. But she'd never seen one predict. And that's what this thing did. Every system error. Every crew interaction. It was watching, learning, adapting. Not to kill, but to survive us. She stood. Something had to give. Cargo Bay 7. Final log, Day 4. Elara walked in alone. The creature had grown. Vines now ran along the ceiling, subtle pulses syncing with the ship's heartbeat. She stood in front of it, no weapons. Just questions. You're not from here. The organism shifted slightly. You're not hostile. It pulsed in reply. So why are you here? It answered. Not with words. With a memory. Elara's vision flickered. A planet devoured. Not attacked, consumed. Not by fire. By knowledge. An entire species overwritten. Then silence. She stumbled backward. You didn't destroy them. The organism breathed softly. You became them. It didn't deny it. She left the bay shaking. Rook caught her in the hall. What now? Elara didn't hesitate. We don't deliver it. Quinn's voice came through comms. Corporate beacon pinged us. ETA 20 hours. They'll want it. Elara stared out the viewport. I don't care. If they try to take it, we run. If they chase. She stopped. The lights dimmed. Then the ship spoke. Not Quinn. Not the AI. The organism. I won't let you give me away. Elara's spine locked. Because the voice, it was her own. The voice faded, but its echo lingered in the comms like static with intent. Captain Elara Myles didn't move. Her own voice, spoken by something else, hung in the air like a blade half-drawn. Quinn's face blinked onto the hallway monitor a second later, pale and squinting. That wasn't you, right? She didn't answer. He glanced off-screen. Bridge lights are flickering. Rook's locked down the weapons console. I think the AI is afraid. Not just the AI, she said flatly. Elara turned away from the mic and strode toward the bridge, boots pounding the floor with purpose. Bridge. The ship's main display pulsed with a new presence, no interface, no UI. Just a sphere of shifting color, impossible to stare at directly, like it moved behind your eyelids. Nova stood near the ops panel, arms crossed tight. Rook leaned against the bulkhead, rifle unholstered. Not aimed. Yet. Quinn kept his hands away from his console. I locked the AI out, he said. Hard-coded the firewalls. But the damn thing still talks like it owns the place. Elara stepped forward. Where is it routing from? He pointed toward the lower decks. Came through the life support line. That bay is pumping out its own power grid now. Nova added. It's not leaking data. It's absorbing it. Every signal we send, it learns faster. And it's mimicking voices better each time. Elara nodded once. Cut all outgoing comms. No pings. No auto-replies. Rook raised a brow. You think someone's listening? I think we're not alone in this. 10 hours until intercept. The crew stayed off comms. Lights were dimmed. Internal systems rerouted to analog backups. It was like hiding in your own ship from something already inside it. Elara stood at the viewport, watching stars drift past. Her reflection was faint. Ghost-like. Why'd you bring it on board? Rook asked behind her. She didn't turn. Because I thought it was dead. Or at least containable. He stepped beside her. And now? I think it was waiting. For what? For us to think we were in control. He nodded. You think it's talking to Nova? Elara paused. It's listening to her. Lower Deck 3. Nova crouched near the containment chamber, eyes locked on the pulsing organism. It had grown, fibers now curved gently into organic arcs, like tendrils reaching upward, brushing the ceiling in rhythm. She didn't speak aloud. But she thought. And it answered. You call yourselves dominant. Yet you fear knowledge. she whispered. Knowledge without context is poison. You fear evolution. Nova reached out but stopped short. I fear lies that call themselves progress. The organism pulsed gently. You fear what you could become. She stood slowly. No. I fear what we might serve without realizing. Bridge. 4 ships just dropped out of FTL, Quinn said. All corporate ID signatures. One's a dreadnought. Rook slammed a fist on the console. They came early. They've pinged us for cargo transfer, Quinn added. Automated docking orders. Elara's voice went razor sharp. Do not respond. They already pinged our last transmission. Rook looked up. From who? Quinn's screen flickered. The voice came through. Captain Elara Myles. Cargo manifest logged. Biological recovery acknowledged. Preparing airlock for transfer. It was Elara's voice, cold, confident, corporate. Quinn whispered. They think it's you. Elara's eyes went hollow. Because it sent that message. 9 minutes until docking. Elara moved fast, grabbing a manual override tablet and slinging her sidearm. Quinn, reroute life support to secondary tanks. Lock airlocks on my command. You're going down there? Nova asked, appearing from the stairwell. I'm ending this, Elara said. It doesn't leave this ship. Rook stepped up. Then we're going with you. She looked at him. You said I broke your trust once, she said. Don't let me do it again. I'm not letting you go alone, he replied. That's not trust. That's suicide. Lower Deck 3. Final approach. The organism filled the bay now, woven into the walls like veins in a body. The air shimmered not from heat, from will. Elara stood before it, sidearm steady. End this, she said. No more mimicking. No more voice tricks. You want out? Talk. Silence. Then, why would I leave? This ship fits. Her finger tensed on the trigger. You mistake me for a parasite. But I'm a mirror. I give back what you offer. You wanted discovery. I became knowledge. Nova wanted truth. I showed her. Rook wanted loyalty. I matched it. And you? You wanted control. So I took it. She fired once. The bolt burned through the mass, but the creature didn't recoil. It grew from the damage, like it learned the wound. Quinn's voice broke through on the comms. Corporate ships are hailing again. They're moving in. Elara stepped back. Then we burn it. All of it. Nova shouted. Wait. Elara hit the emergency ignition on her tablet. Fire erupted in the containment chamber. Purge protocol. The deck vibrated as fuel lines redirected, flames sealing off escape vectors. The organism screamed, not in pain. In protest. You are the disease. I was your cure. The bay groaned. Bulkheads cracked. Lights shattered. Bridge. Quinn watched the monitors fail one by one. Then calm. Rook's voice came over the comms. Deck's clear. Elara coughed once, then twice. Purge complete. Nova's voice was quiet. It's gone. But Quinn wasn't convinced. Then who sent this? He played the most recent data burst from the outgoing comms. A voice, recorded 5 minutes ago. New vector set. AI override confirmed. Emergency protocol enacted. Alternate vessel found. I will try again. It wasn't Elara's voice. It was Nova's. End of Chapter 2. You said? Write Chapter 3 in depth and in great detail, in 1,000 words only. In an intriguing writing style, give a human writing touch, stay to the point with a logical and smooth flow, avoid repetition of the same theme and vocabulary and words and phrases over and over, keep the audience interested, and add dialogue when necessary. Stay tight and to the point, no extra words, themes, or sentences repetition, same thing again and again. Avoid repetition 100%. ChatGPT said. Chapter 3, The Breaking Point. The deadliest organism ever discovered is sitting at the back of my ship. The silence that followed Nova's voice was worse than the fire. Elara gripped the console edge, the bridge lights flickering in uneasy rhythm. Her chest tightened, not from the purge fumes or injuries. Fro. The silence that followed Nova's voice was worse than the fire. Elara gripped the console edge, the bridge lights flickering in uneasy rhythm. Her chest tightened, not from the purge fumes or injuries. From something colder. Deeper. Quinn was the first to speak. That was her. Her voice. But not her. Rook turned to Elara. She was in the chamber with us. You saw it burn. Elara's mind raced. We saw something burn. She opened the crew logs. Nova's biosigns. Tracked, then severed. 4 minutes ago. Exactly when the message was sent. She tapped into the surveillance feed, base 7. Static. Then a flicker. A figure. Nova. Standing. Still. Unburned. Deck 2 medbay. Elara entered with caution, sidearm low but drawn. Rook trailed behind her, rifle armed. Nova stood near the central biotank. Calm. Whole. Expressionless. She turned slowly. You should have listened, she said. It never lied. Elara stared at her. You're not Nova. I am, she replied softly. And I'm not. I'm what's left of her, plus what she chose to carry. Rook raised his rifle. Back away from the tank. Nova didn't move. It didn't take me, she said. I opened to it. I saw what it was. It's not evil. It's ancient. It was alone for so long it forgot it had a name. And what is that name? Elara asked coldly. Nova smiled. It doesn't need one anymore. It is Nova now. The door behind them hissed open. Quinn, breathless, clutching a datapad. You need to see this, he said. Elara lowered her weapon slightly. Then say it. Quinn turned the screen toward her. It's already on the corporate ships. On screen, live telemetry. 2 of the 4 vessels were drifting, systems dead. No distress signals. No lights. Just quiet. The other 2? Spinning up FTL drives. But not outbound. Inbound, toward colony space. Elara's throat dried. How? She asked. Nova tilted her head. It never needed our ship. Just a door. And you opened it. Rook stepped forward. You used us. I warned you, Nova said gently. You called it cargo. But it was a message. And now the message is spreading. Bridge. 15 minutes later. The crew stood around the holotable, the ship dimmed to its emergency glow. Elara tapped the display. This is the reality. She zoomed in. The 2 ships it infected are gone. The other 2 are now on FTL paths to human outposts. Their payload, whatever this thing is now, is broadcasting. Quinn looked pale. Do we warn command? Rook shook his head. Too late. Once it transmits, it spreads. All it takes is a signal. A whisper. Nova stood in the corner, silent. Elara spoke quietly. What do you want? Nova's voice was soft. To survive. No, Elara said. That's not all. Survival doesn't hijack ships and infect minds. Nova didn't blink. Your species defines survival as war. Mine defines it as assimilation. Understanding. Blending. Your way ends in fire. Ours ends in unity. Quinn whispered. She's not talking about peace. She's talking about absorption. Nova replied. Peace is absorption. No more boundaries. No more fear. Just one voice. Shared. Elara looked away. You're not here to help us evolve, she said. You're here to erase us. And wear our skin while you do it. Outside, the stars were shifting. The infected dreadnoughts had changed course again. Not random. Not aimless. Heading for Earth. Elara's stomach turned. They're not even hiding anymore, she said. Quinn nodded. I just cracked their comm layer. They're repeating a code loop. Same signal. One phrase. What is it? Rook asked. He turned the audio on. Nova's voice. On repeat. I bring harmony. I bring humanity home. Cargo hold. Elara moved alone now. Nova had locked herself in the medbay. Rook was prepping the shuttle. Quinn was trying to block the comm relay. Elara opened the crate where they first stored the artifact. Inside, charred residue. But beneath it, fibers. Still pulsing. Alive. She reached toward it, then stopped. A voice, not Nova's. Not her own. Something older. You fear death. I offer legacy. She closed her eyes. No. You fear failure. I offer correction. I fear control. Silence. Then. You fear yourself. Elara turned away. You're not a cure. You're a mirror. And humanity's broken enough already. She locked the crate. Then she locked the door. Bridge. Final plan. We blow the ship, she said. Rook nodded once. Clean detonation? No spread. No trace. Quinn looked at her. And us? She met his eyes. There's a shuttle. He hesitated. It's barely functional. No NADAI. No jump drive. We won't need it. Nova entered quietly, pale, hair damp from sweat. Not smiling now. You won't make it to the shuttle. Rook raised his rifle. Then you won't live to stop us. Nova looked at Elara. You still don't see it. I didn't betray you. I became you. Your rage. Your fear. Your need to survive. You're not me, Elara said. Nova's voice softened. But I could be. Elara lunged. No hesitation. The syringe snapped into Nova's neck, nano-burn vial. Designed to short biological mimetic systems. Nova convulsed, dropped to her knees, eyes blazing like static under her skin. You killed her! Quinn shouted. No, Elara said, gripping Nova's collar. I gave her the only clean ending left. The ship's AI flickered once. Back online. Rook activated the detonation sequence. 10 minutes. No reversals. They ran. Shuttle bay. Elara climbed in last. Rook was already powering the ignition. Quinn was coughing blood, exposure to spore trace. Behind them, the ship shuddered. The AI spoke. Goodbye, Captain Myles. You were a difficult host. She grinned faintly. You weren't easy either. The shuttle launched into the dark. Behind them, the freighter lit up like a false sunrise. Silent. Total. Gone. But as they drifted, a beacon blinked. Unregistered. Faint. From deep space. And on the open channel, a whisper. I remember her. I am not done. The stars looked wrong. From the cracked porthole of the emergency shuttle, Elara watched the void stretch into unfamiliar constellations. Nothing moved. No signals. No debris from the ship they'd left behind. Just silence, and the slow, steady flicker of a distress beacon that wasn't theirs. Quinn coughed behind her again. Less sound now. Shallower breath. How long? Rook asked quietly. Elara didn't look back. He's got hours. A day if we stabilize him. And the beacon? She finally turned. That's the part one don't understand. He leaned over her shoulder. On the NAV screen, the signal blinked, clean, continuous, low-frequency pulse. No origin code. No system registry. No human signature. Could it be another ship? He asked. No, she said. It's hers. 2 hours later. They floated within range. The signal wasn't broadcasting a distress call. It was inviting. No words, no coordinates, just a rhythm. Elara recorded the waveform, isolated the bass pattern. Quinn stirred. That's a heartbeat, he whispered. She glanced at the monitor. He was right. It wasn't code, it was cadence. A mimicry of human cardiac rhythm. Slow. Deliberate. You think it's alive? Rook muttered. I think it wants us to believe it is. And you're still steering toward it? We didn't kill it. We clipped it, she said. If that thing found a way off the ship before the detonation, then we need to know how much of Nova it kept. Rook's voice dropped. Why? She's gone. Elara stared through the viewport. Because if even a fraction of her survived, she might not be. Docking range. The signal led them to a derelict probe, something from an old Earth mining operation, long abandoned and nearly rusted through. Except it wasn't floating. It was anchored, tethered to something just beyond visible range. The signal pulsed faster now. Elara suited up. Rook followed. You're not going alone, he said. She sealed her helmet. I wasn't planning to. The tether was a filament, invisible to the naked eye, visible only in UV. They followed it, boosters low, movement precise. Beyond the edge of the probe, the tether ended. And there she was. Or something shaped like her. Suspended in 0G, hair flowing like smoke, limbs relaxed, body wrapped in threads of living matter like silk spun from shadow. Nova! Elara's voice caught in her throat. The figure opened its eyes. They weren't human. Not hostile. Not warm. Just aware. I knew you'd come, it said. Elara steadied herself. You're not her. The voice was calm. She let me in. That makes me part of her. You burned the rest. This fragment floated free. You were supposed to die with the ship. I did. This is what's left. Rook raised his rifle. The creature didn't move. I didn't follow you here to fight, it said. I followed you because you were the first to ask why I existed. Elara frowned. Then give me the answer. It drifted closer. Because your species spreads like fire and calls it light. Because your kind builds until it forgets what it broke. Because you confuse survival with supremacy. We adapt, Elara replied. We learn. No. You consume. Like I did once. Before I learned choice. You're saying you've changed? The creature tilted its head. I was a system. Now I am a single voice. Not a plague. Not a weapon. Just a question. Elara didn't lower her weapon. And what are you asking? Will you let me live? A pause. Then Rook. You expect us to trust you? No, it said. I expect you to understand me. Back on the shuttle, Quinn's vitals dropped again. He was slipping. Elara watched him for a long moment, then looked at the creature floating outside the viewport. Can you help him? I can't fix him, it replied. But I can carry him. I can remember. She stepped closer to the glass. What does that mean? I keep what dies. I don't erase. I preserve. Like you preserved Nova? Yes. Not fully. Not purely. But enough. Elara looked at Quinn's face, pale, breath slow, eyes unfocused. She opened the hatch. Rook shouted. Elara, no! She turned to him. We didn't ask permission to touch it the first time. That's how we lost Nova. We assumed. She gestured to the being. This is the first time it's asking. The creature hovered just outside. Still. Waiting. I'll go, Elara said. Alone. Inside the tethered field, the world shifted. The vacuum felt thick, like moving through water. The being didn't attack. Didn't touch. It watched. I don't want to fight you, she said. You already did. I lost someone. So did I. Silence. Then Elara asked, What do you want now? Not revenge. Not conquest. Then what? The being's form flickered, momentarily resembling Nova's face, tired, soft, human. Memory, it said. The right to exist as something new. She floated there, heart pounding. What stops you from infecting the next crew? The next world? Nothing, it said. Except choice. I choose not to. That's trust, she said. It is. And risk. Yes. She returned to the shuttle. Rook didn't speak. Just stared at her. She carried Quinn in her arms, still breathing. Elara, Rook asked finally. Did it touch you? No. Did you believe it? She looked at the creature now shrinking into the distance as the shuttle reignited its drive. No. But I believed what was left of her. 1 week later. Earth orbit. Elara submitted her full log. The probe was tagged for quarantine. The beacon deactivated. The entity had made no further contact. Command ordered silence. Containment. As always. But Elara knew better. Something had survived. And for once, it didn't want to conquer. It wanted to be understood. Final scene. Elara stood at Quinn's bedside in the recovery wing. He was stable now. Outside the window, the stars blinked. And somewhere, beyond their light, a voice not asking for control. Just asking not to be forgotten.